Good morning, friends. Welcome to the teleconference section of the School of Agriculture. Today we will be covering the course 2, Principle of Post-Harvest Management of Fruits and Vegetables. Under this, there are 4 blocks. We are going to take block 1. We have today with us Sushant K. Roy, who is the Emeritus Professor in the I will request Professor Roy to speak about the
initiated by School of Agriculture, Indira Gandhi Open University, for the development of resource personnel, those who are competent to start their own entrepreneurship, or they can already working in some organization, so that they can improve the facility of the organization and create more opportunities for that organization. With this purpose, this was developed, and it's sponsored by the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. Now, principles of post-harvest management. This is one of the several courses proposed under this diploma program. This is mainly to apprise the fundamentals of handling, storage, processing, marketing of fruits and vegetables. And the course is divided into 4 blocks. The block 1 is need and importance. Block 2 is post-harvest treatments. Block 3 is storage and marketing. And block 4 covers processing and preservation aspects of fruits and vegetables. Now, today we will elaborately discuss about the need and importance. Now, need and importance is very essential in case of fruits and vegetables, because we incur huge losses of fruits and vegetables due to the improper post-harvest management. Lack of post-harvest management results in a huge gap between production and availability. We may produce a huge amount, but finally the availability is reduced because of the losses. So we need to give greater emphasis in this. In our country, not given in post-harvest management. Now, this block has got 5 units. Number 1 is importance of post-harvest management. Second unit covers causes of pre and post-harvest losses. Unit 3 is it covers the maturity indices and harvesting parameters. Now, fourth one is packaging of fresh fruits and vegetables, and the 5th one is transportation of fruits and vegetables. Now I will go to the first one, the importance of fruits and vegetables. Now this covers that India has a wide range of fruits and vegetables we grow. At present we produce about 45.37 millions of tons of fruits and about 93.92 million tons of vegetables. India is the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world, but unfortunately, being the second position, our average Indians do not get enough fruits and vegetables.
अगर इधर भी कर लेती हूँ तो अभी देखना और फिर कपड़ा नहीं लगेगा इस पे जरा सी होती है पूछिए आप उनसे
So post-harvest management needs a tremendous importance in this country. How to increase the food availability and nutrition security. Result, there is a glut and we cannot manage the fruits and production properly. So post-harvest management reduces the spoilage and increases the availability. Now fruits and vegetables play also a very important role in our nutrition, because nutrition security is very, very important to maintain a good health and be away from many of the diseases. The fruits and vegetables, the fundamental thing is that they are very rich in vitamins, minerals and trace elements. So no other food what we consume provides mainly like vitamin C or beta carotene. This is mainly drawn from fruits and vegetables. Now deficiency results in several diseases like scurvy, beriberi, night blindness. Night blindness and all these things are mainly, night blindness mainly due to the lack of vitamin A. Now another area how fruits and vegetables can do is a lot of employment generation and value addition. Now employment generation is more difficult with the increase in population. Our country has a tremendous population explosion which results in more of the employment generation is a big problem and more difficult to get employment in rural areas. So as a result, the migration of labor from the rural to the urban areas takes place because the job opportunities are not there. The purpose of this course is mainly to create more jobs in the villages, so the villagers remain in the villages and maintain their livelihood and add value to their product. So there is now once it is give a direct employment and then it gives 4 times indirect employment. Now as a result, when you use some post-harvest technology, you need to develop some ancillary industries. So these industries provides more job opportunities. So every unit, if it employs 4 persons, then indirectly it provides employment for another 16 persons. So this is very, very important aspect of this value addition in fruits and vegetables. So it can provide employment in the small towns, rural areas. Now any activity undertaken in this course, in this program needs employment, whether it's a peeling, whether it's a slicing, whether it's a cutting, whether it's a processing, whether it's a packaging, all involves employment. So consumer pay a high price. Now we need to add value to it. So consumer unnecessary, say when we purchase some of the vegetables like cauliflower, I'll just go to some visuals. Now you see the cauliflower should come. The cauliflower leaves when it is marketed. We market the cauliflower along with the leaves, and then cauliflower leaves goes and creates garbage, but it can provide lot of valuable products. Now you can see that the cauliflower leaves. Now these cauliflower leaves are totally not required for the consumer. This is an excellent cattle feed. So it can remain in the field, but all that we need is the curd, the white portion of it. This is only 40% of the production. So if we can eliminate that, then we get a very good product for the cattle to eat and also human being. So as a result, there is a considerable value addition. So this is one area. And secondly, when you add how to utilize these cauliflower leaves. Now cauliflower leaf is a potential source of vitamin A. Now cauliflower leaves otherwise creates huge garbage in the metro cities. Now if we can take the leafy portion and the stem portion, you see on the left hand side it's the leafy portion and the right hand side is the stem portion. Now stem portion is meant for the animals and the leafy portion is meant for the human being. These leafy portions are highly perishable. They can be dried, they can be turned into powder, and then it can be mixed with several food items. and it can also be mixed with wheat flour, besan or something in the public distribution system through which we can combat our malnutrition in the country, mainly the blindness among the children. So this is one area which is very, very important, that value addition is a very, very important area for this subject. Now next we come, this lot of apples which are not marketable goes west, and they can add a lot of value if we can timely process them and take the pulp out, and this pulp can be kept for future preservation of product. Particularly in the hill areas, once the apple season is over, there is not much of employment. But if they preserve into pulp and keep the pulp, this pulp can make several other fruit products which can give employment and engagement for the persons when the whole area is covered with snow. Now this is an area of value addition. So this will give a lot of income to the growers. It will give an more return to the farmers. So these are the area which needs to be attended, and this course will actually provide that. Now next we come that we grow a lot of fruits and vegetables. There are about 84 different items of fruits and 64 items of vegetables are traded in the world. Now India, by virtue of its various agroclimatic condition, has the potential to grow large number of fruits and vegetables which can be exported. Now in order to export the vegetables or fruits, we need to develop technologies to keep them fresh and marketable and acceptable by the foreign countries. So this is an area, post-harvest management can give a boost to our export market. Now secondly, there is another potentiality of export from this country, is that we are blessed with large number of medicinal plants which has got therapeutic value, which is a highly nutritive value. They have got an attractive color and flavor. So with the help of some slides, I'll explain to you how we can generate a lot of export potentiality through processing of this, our indigenous fruits and vegetables. So we can create a world market which no other country can compete with us. But unfortunately, no preservation or such activities are taking place in the rural areas. So if we can develop these activities like processing and all, then there will be a possibility of rural industrialization. So next I'll go to some slides to explain to you how this can be done. Now this is amla, which you all know is a rich source of vitamin C, and it is grown in a huge quantity in this country. The one such product like apple murabba or preserve, which is very popular in this country, but there are various other products like preserve, pickle, candy, jam, syrup, dried shreds. All these products can be manufactured from this fruit, and this can find an avenue for the export trade. Now similarly, there is another very important fruit called eagle marmalose. It's bale fruit. It's a hard shell. It's not very easy to eat out of hand. You cannot eat bale like that of a banana or an orange or an apple. It has to be processed. So it has a tremendous processing potentiality, and it grows only in the villages or in the forest areas, so which can generate a lot of employment. And this product, by virtue of its therapeutic value, because world over everybody wants therapy through nature. Now if we can produce this product, highlight this nutritive value and these remedial measures of these products, there is a great scope of export trade from this country. So these indigenous fruits has got a tremendous potentiality in our export market. Now next I come to the beneficial to the producers and consumer. The main purpose of production, that the farmer should get a higher return and consumer should pay less. But unfortunately in this country, the presence of middlemen, the traders, they take the crops from the farmers in the field at a throwaway prices, and as a result the farmer because they cannot preserve it for a long time. They don't have any facility. There is no rural storage system. There is no on-farm storage system in this country. As a result, farmer has to dispose of their commodities as early as they can, and they fall a prey in the hand of the middleman. Now, the same middleman also cheats the consumer. Now, the difference of the price between this seller sells and the consumer pays is huge, and that money goes to the middleman's pocket. So this post-harvest management can cut down the hands of this middleman, and if they can build up some cooperative or some mechanism through which the produce can come to the market where the consumers are there, then there is a potentiality of getting a benefit which can reach to the consumer as well as to the producer. So this is very, very important, and we know a lot of farmers committing suicide and all, mainly because they don't know how to utilize the produce. So post-harvest management is one such area, particularly perishable products like tomato or some other fruits which comes in a glut can solve a lot of problems, and how we can get rid of the farmers' problems. So this is a very, very important area which can solve these things. Now we go to the next unit. The first unit we covered the importance. The second unit is causes of pre and post-harvest losses. Now what are the causes? The losses depends, it varies from, say for example, potato is not as perishable as that of grape. So this is what I am telling. The content depends on various constituents of the crop. Now this can occur, the losses can occur before harvest as well as after harvest. Before harvest in the field, then it can happen in the packing houses. It can be, losses can take place in the storage, and a huge amount of losses takes place during transportation, because our transportation system in this country is not properly geared up. So severe losses occur because we do not have much of the infrastructure facility. The present existing post-harvest infrastructure in this country is practically nil. The farmers' produce comes straight from the field to the market, whereas in other advanced country, which in subsequent slides I'll show you, they pass through the packing station. As a result, lot of wastage can be stopped. Now, pre-harvest factors. The pre-harvest factors, how if we can make proper pre-harvest management, if we can choose a proper variety, if we can get a proper planting material, we can get a better crop. Now there are certain during cultural practices which we do, say for example practice of post-harvest management like your intercultural operation, irrigation schedule, and all these things, weed control, crop protection or crop hygiene, then we can get rid of a lot of pre-harvest problems. So nutritional deficiency, we provide proper nutrition like fertilizer or manure in time, then we can save a lot of crops. And the harvesting is one of the most crucial thing in the post-harvest management, because if we do not harvest properly, if we inflict injuries while harvesting, then that will intensify the amount of post-harvest losses. Now, there are biological factors which is very, very important. Pathological factors, you know, the fruits and vegetables, if we keep it out, it will infected with the pathogens or the fungus, it will spoils. It can be also attacked by the insects, that's the entomological problem. Again, it has another problem, is it's the physiological activities. It undergoes ripening. You see, you harvest, you bring a green mango in your house and it turns yellow, because this is a live process. The ripening takes place, the physiology, the respiration, the ethylene liberation, all this takes place. So these physiological activities has to be controlled, and this can be controlled by environment management like temperature, relative humidity, atmospheric gases. So all these things, the right side at the bottom you see the slide which is showing with the rise in temperature, both the ethylene and the respiration rate both increases. As a result, with the higher the storage temperature, higher is the spoilage. So these are the things. This is mainly because they are biological thing, and if it would have been a stone, it would not have been affected much with the change in environment. But since it's a biological material, all these problems comes up. Now, improper handling, packaging storage, and transportation. These are all post-harvest parameters which is responsible for increasing the losses. So if we can improve our handling system, improve our storage system, we store it at a proper temperature, at a proper humidity, it will have a better shelf life. So naturally the return will be more. So next we go to the maturity, because every fruit, we are not very much clear about the maturity and ripening. You cannot harvest a fruit unless it is mature. Just like in human being, unless the baby is mature in the womb of the mother, you cannot take the baby out. So similarly, unless the fruit is properly matured in the tree, it cannot be ripened once it's harvested. So again, in the maturity in this thing, there is a one group of fruit which ripens completely on the tree, like for example grapes. You cannot harvest grapes and a fully mature or something, it has to be ripened on the tree. But like fruits like mango, tomato, you can harvest when they are matured. The ripening can take place off the tree. So this is a very, very important parameters on which we can, and there are various ways of determining all these things. The harvesting is most important because in our country the prevalent is hand harvesting, and hand harvesting, I tell you, the world over is the best harvesting method. Machine harvesting needs a huge expenditure. Hand harvesting is cheaper, provides more employment generation, and more care can be taken, and each individual fruits or vegetables can be supervised. Next, we say there are some instrument through which we can measure the maturity. Now in case of apple, we need that firmness of the apple. So there is a pressure tester which measures the fruit pressure. So this is a pressure tester which you can press inside the fruit. It gives a specific pressure and which indicates whether it is mature or not. Similarly, we can determine the sugar content, or what we call total soluble solids, by seeing the reading in a refractometer. So you can put a drop of the juice in that refractometer and see it through how much sugar is there. Then on the left hand side, we can try with the starch estimation. Now if we pass through this iodine paper, if it is a starchy, it will be completely black. Now with the ripening, the starch content comes down, the sugar content increases, so that is an indication of maturity. So this is what we can also determine whether the fruit is mature or not by various methods. Now next important aspect, the unit which covers the packaging and of fresh fruits and vegetables. Now packaging is a very, very important item because assembling the produce in a convenient unit for transport, distribution, storage, retailing is very, very useful. And the packaging material, what you use, has got a tremendous effect on the quality of the fruit. Our various types of packaging materials are used. We use boxes, we use wooden boxes, we use corrugated fiber, we use sacks, we use baskets. There are various ways. Now I'll give you, with the help of the slides, the packaging, how important it is, because the packaging material what we use should not see the lot of trees are removed from the forest. So if we use a corrugated fiber box, it uses 1/3 the wood. With one wooden box we can get 3 corrugated fiber boxes. So I'll just show you now with the help of a slide that how the wooden boxes where we put in the apples. Now this is the wooden box. Now when you put the apples in a wooden box, we have to use a cushioning material. Now straw, newspaper, these are used. It's a time-taking packaging. It takes away a lot of wood out of the forest and creates a lot of problem. But if you use a corrugated fiber box which is there on the right bottom, so we can save a lot of wood. We don't have to use any cushioning material. It itself can be placed properly in the box, and it can also reduce the transit damage. Now this is another aspect of packaging these days are very popular, because small unit pack, what you call the shrink wrapping. There are cushioning materials which you use are dry grass, paddy straw, leaves, sawdust, and paper shreds. But cushioning material, selection of the cushioning material is very, very important. If we use leaves which are biologically active, So that should be prevented from using as a cushioning material. The best is small unit pack is the shrink wrap. We get shrink wrapping machine on the right hand side, and this is in our retail outlet in metropolitan cities, the supermarkets and all. There's a very good opportunity of marketing fresh commodities with the help of this shrink wrapping. Now this aspect, the fifth unit or the last unit, is transportation of fresh produce and how we can control the losses. Now rapid, reliable transport is very, very important for successful marketing. Now transportation starts immediately from the field and it ends when it reaches the consumer's hand. Now delay in any transportation delay will also tell upon the shelf life of the commodities. So it will also reduce the quality of the commodity. So as soon as it is harvested, it should move from place to place at their optimum temperature and humidity. So handling, storage, and this is very, very important for reducing the losses, and so that the farmers and the consumers get the advantage. Now there are several pre-transport operations. Just like we have to immediately harvest, we have to wash it, we have to pack it, we have to cure it, we have to degreen it, we have to pre-cool it, we have to wash it, we have to then dry it, then grade it, size it, and use some disinfectant. So these are the pre-transshipment requirement. Now next, we would like to say the factors affecting transportation of fresh produce. Now mainly the product handling, in transit temperature and humidity. Now if we send in an open truck, there is no control of temperature or humidity. So in every advanced country, this is all transported in a container which is controlled temperature and humidity. But in our country, this is, as a result, our loss is more. And when you lose, after production, losing means lot of wastage and lot of economic loss. So main transportation in this country in world over is road transport, rail transport, and water transport and air transport. But our main transport in this country or world over is the road transport. And road transport is the quickest because it is a door-to-door service. So this is very important. Rail transport is cheaper. It's less vibration. But water transport is also very good. It is also less expensive. But our problem in this country is the lack of all the rivers are drying and no navigation around the year. So water transport is not now. Now air transport is very, very good, but it's very expensive. And if we have to do our export, we have to depend on air transport. But these days, refrigerated container and other things can also go by water transport. Now loading and unloading is a very, very important factor. If we do not load them properly or unload them properly, we can inflict a lot of damages to the fruits and vegetables. So improper steps can damage the product, tremendously. The product must be packed in an appropriate container. Now mechanical loading and unloading is always advisable. Now in this country, this palletization or unitization is that we always ship by a unit bag. Each labor carries head load and then throws the boxes. But if we can make it in a pallet, then it is impossible for an individual to lift it. It has to be lifted by a forklift truck. So palletization is very, very important steps in improving the transportation system. Now some of the advantages of palletizations are that it saves a lot of cost. You save about 40-45% cost, reduce the handling time and product damage. So if individual loads the truck, it may take half a day to load a truck, but if it is palletized and loaded, it can be done immediately. Now I'll just show you a slide through which you can see how in the advanced world, if we follow this proper handling, you see that all the fruits and vegetables, when they are harvested, they come to the packing station, and where the individual fruits all those inedible parts are removed, unit packed, and then placed in the boxes. These boxes are then palletized on the right side. Now after the palletization, then they are put it in the container, and then with a controlled temperature and humidity, it goes from one corner of the country to the another corner. Even it can go from one country to another country, and this is a very important, containerization is a very, very important system of exporting as well as domestic transport of fruits and vegetables. So post-harvest technology is a very important parameter. It has to be covered properly. It has to be, now whatever is left, we can utilize it for processing into value-added product. It can generate a lot of employment, and this is any thing to be discussed, we can do it.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. I think, friends, Dr. Roy has given a very comprehensive coverage of the block 1 on need and importance. May I request Dr. Roy to give particularly like examples he can show to the students of the cauliflower and the bale fruit, the slides, so that we can show them that how the value addition can be of importance to the students. Like this is a good example. If we go to that cauliflower slide and we can show it to the students that the 40% of the leaves could be retained at the village level, and it will reduce the transportation cost, and it can be, the leaves could be preserved and could be used later on. Similarly, this example I will request to please
the cauliflower, see, if you see this, if I can get the visual. Now on the left hand side, you see it's a de facto truck. There are 5 cauliflowers in this crate. Now this 5 cauliflower, the same cauliflower, you see the next slide, after the leaves are removed. So it takes so much, so much space can be saved. So then after that, if we remove this thing and make it 100% edible form, if it comes, then there is a lot of transportation cost will be reduced. In the metro city, these leaves which remains and generates garbage in the metro city. So every 10 trucks of cauliflower comes to the metro city, brings in 6 trucks of garbage. These are otherwise a very, very value added product. It is brought to the city to make into a garbage. But if it is left in the production site, if it is utilized properly, then it can give a lot of value addition. As a result, the cost of cauliflower will come down, because these days we do not derive any income from the West. But once we learn how to generate income from the West, then the original price of the commodity will come down, and that's very, very important. Secondly, this cauliflower is a very potential. We produce about 4 million tons of cauliflower, and India is one of the foremost in growing cauliflower in the world. Now if the cauliflower leaves, that means we literally 2.5 million tons of leaves are wasted every year, and which is a potential source of vitamin A. So if we can make a cauliflower powder, if we can mix through our public distribution system in the atta, then we can get rid of a lot of problems like iodized salt. The iodine deficiency, we can combat iodine deficiency mainly because of the iodized salt. So if we can mix a portion of this cauliflower powder in the atta, in the public distribution system, so the nutrition can reach to the poor, because roti everybody will consume, like salt everybody will consume. Similarly, I am sure this will give. And secondly, as you said, the lot of cull apples, about 35 to 40% of the apple harvested are cull apples. Now they don't generally, they extract the juice. Now when you extract the juice, then you throw a lot of pomace, which is again another value added product. But once you extract the pulp, the waste is nothing. And secondly, apple seeds, which you can see in the center of the slide, there are seeds. Apple seeds sells about 600 to 700 rupees a kg. So during this making the pulp, farmer can generate more income by selling the seeds as well as making the pulp. So this is very, very important. And as you said, if I
So it is a, I mean, so friends, you can say it is a good example of value addition. He has given the need under need and importance, how it covers the gaps between the availability and the production and the availability, how it creates the employment potential, value addition is there. Now I will request him, if Dr. Roy, can you give the particularly like what are the how can we reduce the losses, particularly during the pre-harvest stage,
No.
because so that the this is an important factor where we can reduce the losses through the pre-harvest losses like cultivation, like plucking with the hands.
I think farmers training and this course what you have
There is
done.
a call from Hyderabad. Would you like to take it?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Good morning, Professor Saluja and Professor Rai. This is Dr. Shiv Swarup from Hyderabad.
Right,
We
please.
have two students.
Right,
One of our students has a question.
right, please.
Okay, good morning, sir. I have a question in shrink. I am Lakshmi calling from Hyderabad.
Yes,
This
Lakshmi.
is in shrink wrapping. By how many days is the shelf life of a product increased?
Now, shrink wrapping.
And the other question is, at what temperature should this product be stored?
Okay. Now,
Thank you, sir.
this is a very good question. Now, shrink wrapping, once you wrap the fruit, you build up a microclimate, you cut down the respiration rate, you cut down the moisture per loss, and once you do this and keep it at a room temperature, it enhances the shelf life at a room temperature. But if you keep at the optimum storage temperature, say for example mango, if it is shrink wrapped and kept at 12 degrees centigrade, which is the optimum storage temperature of the mango, you can keep it for about 2 to 3 weeks. Say for example apple, if it is shrink wrapped and kept, you can store it for 6 months, provided if it's kept at its optimum storage temperature of 0 degrees centigrade. So shrink wrapping is mainly for retailing, so that when you do the retailing, you can store it at a little controlled temperature, you can get a better return. Shrink wrapping is a very upcoming and important area these days.
I think Lakshmi, our student has his doubts have been cleared.
Is there anything I will be very happy to explain more?
So we were discussing about the maturity indexes also. So if sir, you can tell something more about the maturity indexes, that how the fruits are ready and how to test them, that will be also good.
There are various things. When the fruit, the flowering takes place, the fruit set takes place, then there is a growth and development, and the fruit becomes bigger and bigger, and it changes its shape, size. All these are related to its maturity. Say for example, the color development is also an indication of maturity. Now in case of, as I said, an example of apple where I showed you some pressure tester. Now this is an instrument, when it is pushes through the apple, it measures the whether how apple, because once the apple is ripened, it becomes soft. So maturity, if we say for example, say 19 pounds per
There is a
square,
call from Hyderabad. Please take the call.
please. Yes,
Hello.
yes,
I'm again Lakshmi, sir. Another question I have for you.
please.
Can you tell us with regard to the storage of sweet corn, which I deal with?
Sweet corn.
Sweet corn, the American sweet corn, which it is called as.
Yeah, I mean what we call baby corn.
Yes.
Pardon?
Baby corn
No,
or
it is
sweet
not
corn?
baby corn.
Sweet corn.
No, it is sweet corn.
If it is sweet corn, you can keep it definitely around 6 to 7 degrees centigrade. So I think it can, but if you can freeze it, then you have to keep it at a sub-zero temperature. But once you freeze it or store it, you please put it in a packet and then do it. Don't keep it in an open container and put it in the refrigerator.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
So we were discussing about the maturity indexes, like apple, the color will change, the starch will change into the simple sugar. So these are the type of the
Yes, we can, particularly in case of apple, it's again a fruit which is a climatic fruit. You can harvest it at a full mature stage. As I said, that in case of grapes, you cannot harvest as a full mature stage, because grape needs to be ripened on the tree. The whole sweetness has to be formed on the tree. So then there's a basic difference. In case of tomato, you cannot harvest ripe tomato. It is very difficult to harvest ripe mango, because if you allow the ripening to take place on the tree, there will be a lot of bird damage. The bird will come and peck and spoil this thing. So that is one of the reasons. But you cannot, very often we observe that mangoes come 1.5 months before the actual season of harvesting, because they harvest in mature stage and then forcibly degreen it with the help of ethylene. So we have to have a proper mature fruit to be harvested at a mature stage. So this is very important, and there are various physical parameters which I explained, maybe the starch, maybe sugar, maybe the firmness, maybe the color development, maybe the shape.
So then can you give us some more examples of how to, that environmental factors which affect the
environment factor mainly in case of fruits and vegetables are temperature and humidity and the atmospheric gases. If we can control these three, we can enhance the shelf life.
So I mean, so what should be the like optimum temperature you said for what are the optimum temperatures for
It varies from fruit to fruit. Say for example, most of the temperate fruits which are grown at hills and all, they are all stored near 0 degrees centigrade. Apple optimum storage temperature is 0.5 degrees centigrade. But tropical fruits like mango, papaya, they have to be stored at a higher temperature, because they cannot stand. If you store them at a lower temperature, they will undergo chilling injury. There will be detrimental to the fruit quality. So we have to determine, there is a preset temperature, it's already available, that which fruit has to be stored at which temperature, which vegetable has to be stored at which temperature and what humidity. So that is all predetermined, and if we follow that, we can reduce loss of considerable amount of fruit and vegetable losses. And I am sure this course will give a lot of opportunity for the young people to start their own entrepreneurship, whether in the fresh form or in the processed form.
Right. I think, Dr. Roy, we can also tell the students about the boxes, that instead of using the there's a lot of you said about the storage, saving of the wood, also saving of those things.
Yes.
I think if the new entrepreneurs are going for the storage of the fruits, in particularly prefabricated
Corrugated fiberboard box, the main important thing, it is 100% recyclable. Wooden boxes, once it comes to the market, it is destroyed. But corrugated fiberboard boxes can be recycled, it is reused, so nothing goes waste. So that's the main advantage of corrugated boxes.
So I think for our entrepreneurs to notice that use of corrugated fiber boxes, similarly the controlling the temperature, the controlling of the temperature are some of the important factors for the thing. I think the Dr. Roy has covered very comprehensively about the need and importance of the post-harvest management of the fruit and vegetables. And I am thankful to Dr. Roy and to the students who are attending things, and will be sharing more the information about the course to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.